With me is Ikenna Nwosu, Director, Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce. And we're continuing our discussion on the outcome of President Muhammed Buhari's meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump.
We've talked about this at the Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce, where our role is basically to foster good business, trade and investment between Nigerian and American organized private sector. Good visits, very good, timely, and it's actually a very good public relations show for both countries, especially because from the U.S. side, when there was a backlash about the president's derogative description of some countries. So you are now hosting the president of the largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa, President Buhari. So that's and that's the economic leader of the continent. So that's a good PR for America. For Nigeria as well, that President Buhari is the first sub-Saharan African president to see President Trump. That's a plus. Now, when we look at how everything played out, something was very instructive. President Trump spoke from a written script. That meant there was a lot of thought process that went through the American side to put down what he said, as against the usual off-the-cuff conversations. And he made it very clear that America saw Nigeria as an economic partner, and America wants to be, I quote him, the economic partner of choice for African countries. He wants the trade barriers removed. He wants greater and deeper cooperation. He wants a better economic climate with a level playing field. Those are his exact words. If you want more business, investment, and trade. And something particularly interesting, as a matter of entitlement, he made it clear that America is giving Nigeria over $1 billion in aid yearly. And that's the reason why, on the basis of reciprocity, Nigeria should remove the trade barriers to allow more business between Nigeria and America. That's fine. Nigeria's trade strategy is largely protectionist. That's the truth. Yes, to a large extent. We've got very high tariffs, about the highest in the West African sub-region. You can see our reluctance to sign the Africa Free Trade Agreement.
Well, I thought that was because there wasn't enough wide consultation. Yes. That's what the presidency is telling us. And I know that the NLC and the Manufacturers Association have said that we exist, or businesses here thrive in a high interest rate environment, and they're afraid that the goods that are produced here, if the doors are open, may find it difficult to compete with goods that were produced in a low interest rate environment where businesses had access to lower, cheaper lines of credit, as it were. Same
as what I'm saying, protectionist. So that's fine. Protectionist. But you see, the irony is that the request of the American president is coming at a time that Donald Trump himself is undertaking a lot of protectionist policies, creating trade barriers with traditional American allies. The Europe, even right there, North America, Mexico, Canada.
You find that a little confusing. I mean, on the one hand, he's America first, and exactly. On the other hand, we're looking for strategic partners. Want to bring your goods, let your goods come into through our borders, etc.
Well, on the face of it, it looks a bit contradictory, but the truth is, as Kofi Annan, when he was the UN Secretary General, said, the secret of doing business in Africa is that it gives you the highest rate of return on capital. Minimum is 30%. You can't get a 30% return on business easily in the US, even in Europe. So American companies always want to come and invest in Africa. And the largest economy is Nigeria. That's why they're asking for more trade barriers to be removed. So when they invest, of course, they repatriate their profits home. That's good for their own balance of trade. So America is looking to improve the balance of trade because Nigeria is doing more export to America. You saw when President Buhari reeled out the figures.
But there is already AGOA, the African Growth Opportunity Act,
which Nigeria has failed to harness.
I thought Nigeria and Angola are the two biggest beneficiaries of AGOA.
Nigeria has done little or nothing. We are one of the least in Africa of the 49 countries benefiting from AGOA. The smaller countries are doing much better and have an edge. So Nigeria is lucky. The SY President Obama, working with Congress, has extended it for another 10 years, 2025. So the Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce is doing a lot out there, advocacy, to make sure that we're able to harness AGOA. We're doing more.
Where are we getting it wrong with AGOA?
We're doing more of the oil exports. So there you can say, yes, Nigeria and Angola, because it's oil. But we're looking more at the non-oil exports. And President Buhari made that very clear to Trump, that he's looking for agriculture, investment in agriculture, power, and infrastructure. But
the opportunity for agriculture is there, and I hear that many times we fail the sanitary test. I mean, when some of the produce go in,
True.
We don't pass those stringent sanitary tests.
True. A lot of Nigerian products going to America, agriculture, are screened, extra scrutiny, but those from Ghana are not. So you even find some Nigerians wanting to go to Ghana to export and say country of origin is Ghana. So that's country of origin challenge. What does it mean? There has to be better standardization of what goes out. Standard organization, NAFDAC have to play their roles. And then the Americans, if you want AGOA to succeed, with their West African trade hub, which used to be based in Ghana, that has just closed, and the chamber is pushing for it to come to Nigeria. There's a lot of training being undertaken by the United States Agency for International Development, so that Nigerians are trained to keep to the standards of American expectation in terms of produce going in there. America is wanting products from Nigeria, but they want them value added. Many of our people just want to send it raw. So that homework is being done, is stage by stage, and geopolitical zone by geopolitical zone in terms of the training. So a lot of work, quiet and efficient work is going on. And luckily, our Chamber of Commerce has become an AGOA training center. So we are there to train entrepreneurs in these requirements by the U.S. government. Over 8,000 line items under AGOA. Nigeria is only basically exporting crude oil. So we have a lot of work to do there. So other than AGOA, the other three pillars of our economic relations are the Binational Commission with the U.S. We have the recently, the CID that was launched January mid last year. Wilbur Ross, the foreign minister, signed it with Nigeria's foreign minister. Commercial and investment dialogue, which is basically the organized private sector of both sides to know what is available. The Americans have noted the opportunities, but they feel that there are many issues that are preventing them from coming into to make final investment decisions. The elections being the most recent.
But this trip that's just happened now, these talks, is that going to what extent would that smoothen things and address many
It's a very big
issues?
boost, because many people, and that's what surprises me, a lot of the Nigerian press is not focusing. I've watched a television station, maybe NTA has done more on that. Many Nigerian press are missing the point that this trip is actually an endorsement of Nigeria as a preferred destination for American investment. So it's a major, by the American president. So it's a major achievement for the Nigerian government that Donald Trump will say, we want to do more investment in your country. We want to become your economic partner of choice. And with that statement, look at the companies that came in wanting to talk to the Nigerian government for business. Boeing wants to come in for aviation. GE signed a two-phase agreement, $40 million, $2 billion. Kotava is there, the grains company, the Continental Grains, so a number of them for agriculture. So,
and all of this will be mutually beneficial because
both
there's that, but we need to talk about trade balance also. So at the end of the day, is it mutual? Because that's, at the end of the day, that's the key question.
Exactly.
To what who's
benefiting and who's not benefiting?
Is there a good balance on both
sides?
sides?
I think that the Americans, you heard what Mr. Trump said, he wants more American agricultural products into Nigeria. Now, the Nigerians are saying, we don't have the specifics of what you are wanting to come in, because we are talking of sending our own agricultural products out. So he wants to balance the trade, because the balance of trade is in favor of Nigeria. We are doing 4.6 billion exports, they are doing about 1.8 billion imports, so it's not very balanced. However, I think that the Americans, look at the sequence of events. Rex Tillerson was here in March. Trump is hosting our president, and he has indicated interest to also come maybe in a year's time. What does that mean? It means they see the potential more than we do of what is on the ground in this country. So on the basis of that, we as a Chamber of Commerce, on the backlash of, riding on the back of the president's visit, we are arranging a trade mission to Washington.
Okay. So what's going to be the key focus? The
key focus is economic development and trade and investment. We want B2B meetings, business-to-business meetings between Nigerians, organized private sector, and Americans. And we're going to be engaging not just the American government, but we're going to be engaging chambers of commerce in the United States, so that we'll be talking one-on-one, and we would like the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission to partner with us on that trade, because that's their national mandate.
That was Ikenna Nwosu, Director at Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce.